Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take another look at Solana, see what's going on, double check a few things. We got a pretty nice little descending trend here. Important to recognize you don't generally want to trade against that. Some people seem to forget that descending trends are kind of your friend. Well, ascending trends are your friend too. Regardless of that fact, lower lows, lower highs, not really a great place. However, we are coming into this area of support, 150 to 130. There's a lot of control there based on volume. So we'll take a quick look at the back-end data here, kind of see where we're at. But generally speaking, it's not like the most optimal conditions to be taking longs on altcoins right now. I know there's a compulsion that people have to want to just buy the dip. I get that, but you generally want to avoid doing so until Bitcoin breaks its lower high, lower low pattern, or just in general, we break above that descending trend, reclaim some of those areas of control. Having said that though, liquidation, we have a little chunk at 150 there locally. That is also a macro area there. So we got about 3 billion between now and 148. So the price pulls back a little bit further. Makes perfect sense. Heavy concentration at 141 though. Keep that in mind. That is that potential area of retracement, or worst case scenario rather. All that said, we're at 2.5 billion in liquidation short delta. So way more people shorting than taking longs with good reason. The market's moving down. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You trade with the direction of the trend. Okay. Macro point of control here, 175. We knew that from before. We talked about that previously. We're starting to build a base at 155. So there's more volume flowing in here at this local area. So 155 could be that support range, but we're tentatively below that. And I think Bitcoin's going to probably progress a little bit lower too. Those are just my thoughts, and if that is the case, then Solana should continue to retrace. But just know we are entering a nice little support range here. So I'll draw out some new fibs here for us, just kind of give us perspective on worst case if the price were to pull back a bit further, and kind of give us that the understanding where we're at. When we look at the daily though, we got to recognize that we're under all moving averages. Well, sorry, not moving averages. Our RSIs. The moving average on the RSI, stochastic swinging down, MACD's diverging. There's no real reason to take a long against this. This is just kind of, it's like trying to run uphill versus running downhill. It's just a little easier to go with the trend, right? That the trend is down right now, okay? So walk downhill, don't try to run uphill. It just takes a lot more effort. In fact, I tried that this morning. I feel like crap because of it, mainly because I'm fighting a cold and killing a parasite. So there's a lot of fun stuff going on there. Regardless, it's a conversation for another day. If you are on my Twitter, Telegram, or Discord, you'll know where I'm at with my health. Halfway through that process, it is not a lot of fun. Regardless, thank you for being patient, and I appreciate the kind words too. Everyone's been pretty awesome. Okay, all that said, here we are. We have this fair value gap that's been pretty much filled. That is good news. Commonly, you will see a pivot or a bounce from there, so keep that in mind. Furthermore, though, we do have our 0.5, 0.6, and 8 levels. Kind of reinforces support at 130. So 130 is that area of support for us here, kind of on a larger perspective. When we zoom in and kind of look at our moving averages, though, we can see we're underneath two important moving averages, the 20 and the 50. The 50 is the most important here on the 4-hour, kind of letting us know that we're running consistent with that descending trend. Until we break that, there's no reason to take it long with confidence, okay? Not to say you can still have some luck, but that's exactly what it is, folks. It's luck. Why trade with luck? There's no such thing as good or bad luck. Well, actually, no, I guess there technically is. Depends on who you are, right? The trick is you don't leave things up to chance. You want to increase your odds of success, and the odds of things going lower are higher right now at this time. I know it seems crazy. The likelihood of the price recovering actually is quite high based on overextensions and the likelihood of finding our local bottom. But once more, that's still not a reason to take a long position. Look at how poorly Solana is behaving versus Bitcoin. Yeah, I guess it's not that terrible, but it's establishing parallel lows here, while Bitcoin's establishing lower highs, okay? Or higher lows rather. What that basically means here is that Bitcoin's performing better than Solana in the last 12 to 24 hours, and that doesn't really bode well for the next leg down if there is one. Okay, so just know 130 to 150 is that support range. I don't think we're going to see anything much lower than that, pending Bitcoin doesn't run, below 100K. Having said all that, hourly time frame confirms there is no reason to take a long position here too. We're still under the cloud and below all of our lagging spans, and the overall sentiment here is just not good. Okay, so don't take it long against this. This doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense. This could change, of course, in the near future, and we can see some range-bound activity here starting to form. So just know that, you know, at this point, there is a decent chance that we could continue lower based on this being a bearish type of pattern. Okay, generally speaking, when you have a bearish type of pattern or a bearish rectangle, it works out like this, where the price continues lower after working itself into just a horizontal pattern. Bitcoin is showing a similar scenario here. Only difference is it's working itself into a bearish flag, and these continue lower as well. So just some things here. There's not like a lot of positivity for the price just bouncing and recovering from here. So try not to be like a perma bull, or, you know, somebody that's kind of like ridiculously just buying every single dip. This isn't really the best time for it right now. Okay, so those are kind of the 2 cents here that I have. What are your 2 cents? Why don't you comment below, like, subscribe, follow if you haven't yet already. Join us over at Bitunix too, folks. These guys are awesome. Link down below. Check them out. They have a really nice promotional benefit going on right now. Other than that, we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks again so much for being an awesome part of my life. Take care of yourself out there. Goodbye.